Hey everyone, so I'm back with another cart that's not loading up. This time it's Panic Restaurant for NES. So owner of this one says he turns it on and gets some garbled graphics. So let's give it a test, see what goes on my system. And gray screen. It's usually what happens if the program ROM's not working. Or if I turn on my NES without any game in there. So I'll reseat it, try it again. Still nothing. Alright, so at this point, let's go ahead and open it up and see what we can find out. And here's a board right here. So you got the program ROM, character ROM, lockout chip, and your MMC3 mapper. So a little bit of background on this particular board. The owner bought it not working. The person that sold it to him said that it worked in an original NES. Then later they tried it out in a clone console. After that, it wouldn't load up anymore. So after that, he ended up taking it to a local GameStop. They tried to reflow the pins, but they ended up scorching the heck out of the board. So judging by the pictures that he showed, it looked like they actually used a hot air station rather than just a regular old soldering iron, which you should really just use since it's all through-hole mounted anyway. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and start taking a look at the program side. Because normally if the character side is working, then either you will get some garbled graphics or the screen would be black. If you saw my Darkwing Duck repair video, you know how that one went down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, put this back in the console. I'm going to see if either the MMC3 or the program ROM or any of the capacitors get warm to the touch. And then we'll go from there. Okay, so we got a gray screen again. Okay, and the program ROM is getting significantly warm, even warmer than the CPU in my NES. So the MMC3 and the character, they're still cold as when I inserted them. So at this point, if you remember from the Darkwing Duck video, the same thing happened on that character ROM. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to desolder the program from this board, and then I'm going to see if I can read it out with my programmer. Now I've got the Heiko warmed up, let's go ahead and pull this ROM off. Okay, there we go. This feels pretty loose, so there we go. It's going to just fall right out. Right, so now I'm going to grab my adapter so I can read this out with my EEPROM programmer. So let's head over to the computer and see if we can read it. Okay, so now over here at the bootgot database, checking out what size the ROM is. So 128 KB, which equals 1 megabit. Let's go over to my programming software. And we're just going to set a 1 megabit ROM. So I got the Panic Restaurant ROM in my adapter. Let me throw that in the programmer. And see if we can read it. Again, there's some pins that are unused because it's a 28-pin package, so I'm going to ignore it. And we're going to go ahead and save that. And we have a completely different CRC. Let me load that up in a hex editor, see if we got any usable data from it. Seeing a lot of C's on there. Yeah, this data looks like it's kind of in patterns. So it almost makes me wonder if maybe there's something wrong with one of the data pins on the actual ROM itself. Then next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and grab my unmodified ROM, and I'm going to compare how that one is. And in the wrong folder. Yeah, just by looking at the first page, you can tell it's very different. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and call it a dead ROM. I'm going to message the customer and see what he wants to do about it. Because we do have a few options. We could replace this ROM with an EEPROM, but at that point it's kind of like a thing of, you know, when you stop really classifying it as a repair and start classifying it as a counterfeit. So I'm going to let him decide what he wants to do, and then we're going to go from there. Okay, got in touch with the owner. He said, just go ahead and put the original ROM back in there. You know, I got to kind of agree with him. It's probably going to be worth more as a non-working original rather than a repaired one with an EEPROM put in there. So we're just going to go ahead and throw this back in the case, and it goes back to the owner. So unfortunately, you can't make them all work. Sometimes there's just some irreplaceable inside there that'll break, and you just got to cut your losses. So he did say that he has somebody lined up already and wants to buy it, even though it doesn't work. So hopefully he can at least get some of his money back that he paid for it. And it's going to be going back in the mail and on the way back. And I'll see you guys next time I got something I need to fix up.